He hit it right on top of the bounce. I was stroking it up off the bottom. It's a really good way to get them fired up, get them to go. Good keeper. 3-pounder. Booyah Finance jig with a young Christy crawl. So what I'm doing here, I just found some fish out in a shell bed. I'm just taking this new Booyah Finance jig. It's compact, but it's still heavy. It's a 1/2 ounce. You don't really need a lot of jig out here deep. You know, a lot of bulk slows it down, and you can watch me as I fish it. I fish my jig pretty fast. So I use this Yum Christy crawl. It's got these kicking legs on it. Still keeps it all nice and low profile and streamlined. 20-pound fluorocarbon. You can use 17, I like 20. And this is just a 7.4 Mike McClellan heavy cover jig rod from Falcon. What I like to do is just throw my jig out there and let it go to the bottom. And I work it just like a lot of people actually work a spoon. I just rip it up off the bottom and let it go back. And a lot of them will bite it on the fall, but that one there, he bit right at the top. Sometimes they'll, you know, they're maybe suspended a couple feet off the bottom, and they'll just grab it when it goes by their. That one missed it. Kind of halfway even jerked because I knew he didn't have it by the time. That's 2 casts, 2 bites right there. It's kind of easy to get carried away, really trying to pop it up off the bottom, which they like you to pop it hard, but I even got myself in trouble a minute ago by, I'll put my hand down here. That's a bad idea because you'll get behind, you know, if you get a bite up the top. You want your hand right here near the reel so you can, it's really best to get a couple of cranks on them before you jerk when they're way over there, just so you can get it tight. So try to always remember to keep your hand near the reel handle. I'm bad I'll grab my rod up here or down here, and that's a real bad habit. I like the tails that kick. Kind of gives it a little more action, kind of like there's a good one. And probably that same one that missed it came back and got it. Still green, he's mad. Reach in here and grab him, he's a little too mean to swing. Every cast. That's about a 4-pounder there. Same hook good right on top of the head. Same deal. Finance jig, just a little low profile, deep fishing jig. Yum Christy crawl. Nice 4-pounder, Lake Gunnersville. The key to the stroking the jig is when you pick it up. A lot of people, the reason they don't catch them doing this is they reel it tight before they stroke it. That's defeating the whole deal. You want to pop it on slack and actually pick the jig up in the middle of the stroke. So if the jig just goes from almost just dormant laying there on the bottom to jumping up 2 or 3 foot off the bottom. And I'm sure you catch some dragging it too, but just really gets them fired up a lot better. There's a good one. I kind of had one bite it right before that, and I just kind of let it go down the bottom and drug it along. There's one behind him. Another 3-pounder right there with him. It's kind of funny, I had one, right when I stroked it up, I had one bite at it, and I just let it go back to the bottom. He must have followed it right down there and picked it right up. Just another good solid 3-pounder. Okay, so we've been out here today on these deeper spots, these deeper shell beds and ledges, just kind of going old school, throwing a jig on them. And got 2 different jigs I use for this setup on the Tennessee River. This is a Booyah Finance jig. It's just a low profile ball head, 1/2 ounce. So you can get it in a 3/4 as well. A lot of different sizes, but for deep I like the 1/2 or the 3/4. I use the 1/2 ounce most of the time, say 8 to 15 feet, and that's kind of what we're fishing today, about 12, 14 feet. 20-pound fluorocarbon, and this is a Yum Christy crawl, just a little kicky leg trailer. and I was stroking that bait up off the bottom, and so I like a low profile, small skirt, not a lot of flare to slow it down. It's kind of a speed deal, probably seen the video, just really ripping it up off the bottom. This other jig I use sometimes is this is a Booyah bankroll jig, and it's got a much different head on it. It's not that great for a deep water head. I much prefer the ball head, the finance jig, for deep, just regular deep water. But this bait in particular, some of the ends of these bars have grass, and it's made to, it's really sleek design on the nose to come through the hydrilla a lot better than say the other one. So I picked this jig up where it's a little more grass, a little more cover. I'll tend to go to this one, a little shallower water, because of its sleek design to come through the grass. I just got a regular young crawl chunk on there. Big bulkier bait, you know, a lot bigger profile than my shell bed jig. My shell bed jig is much more sleek and low profile. So there's two jigs that'll pretty much cover all bases for you in the early summer to mid-summer range, fishing shell beds and river bars. You know, if they got grass, you can go with the sleek design of the bankroll jig, and if they just got shells and you want to stroke it, you can go with the ball head and the finance jig. Guaranteed to put some fish in the boat for you out here.